Lines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson and the Adahi Tano program. Cars Plus, home of Guam's first and only lifetime limited powertrain warranty. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Starting now on Primetime, lawmakers head back into session discussing the bill that would cancel the 2020 primary election. Plus, our Adriana Cotero has a report on the first Interagency on Homelessness and Office of Homelessness and Poverty Prevention meeting that took place today. And Guam's governor has released the guidelines for the reopening of island schools during the pandemic. Nestor Lacanto has news you need to know. Half a day, friends, and good evening. I'm Jason Salas. Thanks so much for streaming us on Facebook or watching us on KUAM TV8. We hope you and your family are having an excellent island evening. Well, the guidelines in our top story for the reopening of schools during the COVID pandemic have now been released, and your governor says she's comfortable with what public health has come up with to help ensure the safety of our students.
The guidance memo establishes the minimum requirements under which schools will be allowed to operate. It will be contingent, though, on an executive order by the governor under P-Core 3. The guidelines cover such things as limits on maximum classroom occupancy, required campus signage on sanitation and safety, and the mandatory use of masks.
As long as they meet the minimum requirements, I think we'll be safe for our teachers, our students, and our community. And of course, we'll be watching it very closely.
The back-to-school guidelines also cover building, cleaning, disinfection, and ventilation, personal hygiene practices in class that include required hand sanitizers, and schools must also designate a specific employee to coordinate the COVID-19 control measures.
Education is very important, and experts say that face-to-face learning is very essential.
But a recent poll of parents indicates that at least for now, more than 60% prefer to keep their kids at home. And so the Education Department has plans to offer both online and on-campus instruction.
There was about a 35% respond on face-to-face learning, and of course also distance learning and homeschool. Hard copy learning is what they were talking about. So I think eventually we'll be able, once people start feeling more secure, and I think once the schools get their requirements all set, I'm comfortable with it, Nestor. I think it's a good guideline to start with.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lacanto.
Well, let's get you up to speed now on the latest COVID-19 data for our island community, as there is a single new case of coronavirus out after 184 test samples were evaluated. Now, this particular case was tested positive at the Guam Memorial Hospital and did not report recent travel or contact to a confirmed case. To date, there have been 314 cases in all since March 15th. 95 of them are currently active. 214 people have been released from isolation. There are 4 hospitalizations and 5 people have passed away. Additionally, of those cases, 267 are classified as civilians, with 47 being members of the U.S. military. Community drive-through and walk-in testing continues on Wednesday the 22nd from 9 a.m. until high noon at Tamuning Elementary School, and Thursday the 23rd also from 9 to 12 at the Asan Maina Mayor's Office. Both events are free and open to everyone. All you need is a form of identification. Please go get tested. Well, the head of the Governor's Physicians Advisory Group, Dr. Felix Cabrera, provided an update on the pandemic to the Rotary Club today. Several members expressed more than a little skepticism about the severity of the spread locally, with one member comparing it to the seasonal flu, questioning why there was a lack of any similar restrictions in addressing that particular strain of the disease.
Flu doesn't get you sick quickly and doesn't spread as quickly. That overwhelms the healthcare system. Again, it came down to hospitalizations, right? So we're worried about hospitalizations. We're worried about breaking our whole healthcare infrastructure system here. And the flu can't do that at the infectivity rate that it is. But something like coronavirus, with how infectious it is, can do that and can flood our system. And ultimately, that's what, and then it's a ripple effect from there.
Now, other members vocalized their concern about the lack of a plan to reopen tourism, but Dr. Cabrera said there is a plan based on certain conditions, such as the average infection rate. He also reminded the membership that even when we lift the quarantine restrictions for tourists, the source markets will have to do likewise for visitors to come. In other island news headlines this morning, Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio led the first meeting of the Interagency on Homelessness and Office of Homelessness and Poverty Prevention. Adriana Cotero covered that report and has the story.
It was at the end of June when Governor Lou Leon Guerrero had issued a new executive order establishing a new Office of Homelessness Assistance and Poverty Protection within the Mayor's Council. She also repealed and reconstituted the members of the Interagency Council on Homelessness to be chaired by the Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio.
This interagency council was actually established by former Governor Felix Camacho in 2007.
The council is made up of Mayor Council of Guam representative for Vice Chair, which is Sinahanya Mayor Robert Hoffman. And the remaining members include Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority Executive Director Ray Tapasna, Guam Housing Corporation President Alice Tyrone, Guam Regional Transit Authority Executive Manager Selva Bauta, appointed member former First Lady Joanne Camacho, and Guam Homeless Coalition Representative Dr. Margaret Hattori Uchima. All 7 individuals were present for today's inaugural meeting. Dr. Uchima informed her colleagues how the coalition has made forward actions, but believes the missing link has been the Mayor's Council of Guam, and she says adding them is, quote, genius.
We realize we do play a role in this. We know and we recognize there are homeless families, there are people at the brink of getting homeless, and we're trying everything we can in our ends as local leaders. So we appreciate the administration and everyone here's willingness to kind of help step up to help us deliver that service.
The Lieutenant Governor announced about 50 unsheltered homeless individuals had been provided shelter in Mighty at a hotel facility that was secured by the General Services Agency.
They are occupying 39 rooms. There are currently individuals that are being reviewed or screened, and General Services Agency is identifying other options that are going to be appropriate for all the different kinds of populations that we're seeing. Out of the 50 individuals, there are several children that are up there.
As for the demographics of those 50 individuals,
36 of the 50 are of Chamorro descent, 8 are of Chuukese descent, 2 Caucasian, 1 Filipino, 1 Hawaiian, 1 Palauan, 1 Japanese.
He says Catholic Social Services is providing shelter management and conducting case work. He added that the effort will continue to identify unsheltered families to provide comprehensive service. Along with the Interagency Council, the administration is using federal funds through the Department of Interior to run the Office of Homelessness and Poverty Prevention. An office space has yet to be identified. In the next few weeks, Tenorio said agencies will be doing presentations with each of the populations. The Lieutenant Governor also indicated that the Interagency on Homelessness and Office of Homelessness and Poverty Prevention will meet every Thursday at 11 a.m. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
And let's stay with island lawmakers as the emergency session called by senators to decide if there should be a primary election continues to drag on. They recessed late today and will reconvene tomorrow to vote. The session was already postponed from last week and continued today with several hours of discussion on a bill by one Senator Kelly Marsh Taitano allowing for absentee voting in the 2020 primary. Senators got bogged down, though, over an amendment by Senator Amanda Shelton establishing 3 new voting centers. Those would be in addition to the regular voting precincts. They even called on election commission officials to answer questions. GEC Director Maria Pangilinan said adding new voting centers was feasible, but they basically cost as much as conducting an entire election already. After all the discussion, Senator Shelton late this afternoon withdrew her amendment. Shortly after, the membership called a recess until Friday. Well, to court, trial was back on today for Brandon Acosta, and the defense rested its case. Acosta is accused for the 2018 rape and killing of 15-year-old Tamika Nauta. He faces aggravated murder and criminal sexual conduct charges, along with numerous other counts for the crime, in which over 2 months ago, after the government did rest its case, defense counsel William Pohl motioned for the dismissal of all charges. Judge Vern Perez, as you know, brought the matter back to the jurors, having them listen to a playback of the entire trial this past week. And today, after the playback concluded, the defense chose not to have Acosta testify and rested. Closing statements are scheduled for Monday at 9 in the morning. We are just getting started, everybody, so please stay with us. Primetime continues right here on KUAM.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
While we've all been through a lot over the years,
typhoons, earthquakes, and now COVID-19,
we've been able to get through these together.
For more than 80 years,
KUAM Insurance has been protecting your homes, your businesses,
And the health of your family.
We are here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
There are better days ahead. Tomorrow's a new day filled with hope and choices.
The possibilities of what we can achieve together are limitless.
Let's continue to work together to ensure a brighter tomorrow for all of us.
In this time of change, there is one thing we can do together. Respond to the 2020 Census of Guam. Every response will help Guam get the resources we need for healthcare, education, emergency services, infrastructure, and so much more. These resources are critical to the growth of our island for the next 10 years and beyond. We cannot do it alone, but together we can make a difference. Let's start now.
Hafaday, I'm Mana Silva Tyron. Robert Underwood is one of the most respected men in Guam as a leader of our community. Respected for his knowledge and his willingness to help. To those who know him well, they'll describe him as energetic, funny, and trustworthy. Speaking as a Republican and former senator, I can tell you he's one of the most trusted men in Guam. In Washington, D.C., he will always fight for Guam. And in Guam, he will always work with all of us. That's why I'm ready for Underwood for Congress. Please join me in voting for Robert Underwood.
I'm Robert Underwood. I approve this message.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Welcome back, friends. The third-party fiduciary special condition is an ongoing weight on the Guam Department of Education's shoulders that they are eager, more than ever, to be relieved of. And according to Superintendent John Fernandez, a Zoom virtual meeting and tour will be held with the U.S. DOE to receive an update on the high-risk status and also allowing for the local counterpart to present its warehouse. Fernandez says all the special conditions imposed on the federal funds, the third-party fiduciary requirement, is the most straining for the finances for school operations, as the agency currently has to pay $2.5 million for the oversight.
I think over the last 8 years, we've paid, I'm sure, above $25, $26 million to the third party. And we're really trying to get back to a situation where our progress is acknowledged. We can remove these special conditions, reduce the role of the third party, and return some of these resources to our school system.
Being released from that condition and being able to put some of these resources back into the system, what would that money be used for? If you could just, especially during the pandemic.
Well, exactly. I mean, given the fact that we are entering, a situation where there's a lot of budgetary uncertainty, a lot of economic uncertainty. Every dollar is important for us to make sure that we can support our school system, during the coming year.
2 years ago, GDOE requested reconsideration on the high-risk status, and over the last year, Superintendent Fernandez says they've been working with the feds on a reconsideration reevaluation plan. Uncle Sam was still scheduled for a final on-site visit this past April, yet due to the COVID-19, the visit did not occur. But that's not stopping GDOE, as they asked for the virtual meeting and now anticipate to have an official written finding and are hopeful the removal of conditions before the new school year. Adelup says an official announcement will be made on Friday, but former First Lady Joanne Camacho will be named the new Deputy Administrator of the Guam Economic Development Authority. She takes over Dr. Ricky Hernandez, who's moved over to the airport as its Deputy Manager. Now, Camacho is a current member of GVB's board and was formerly GVB's Executive Manager under the Eddie Calvo administration. She most recently was employed as an executive for duty-free shoppers. Joanne Camacho is, of course, the wife of former Governor Felix Camacho. Up in Saipan, the CNMI's 3 most recent confirmed cases of coronavirus were all passengers screened and swabbed for specimens on July the 9th. They were brought to the Kanoa Resort quarantine site until their retesting per the new travel protocol. The CNMI's COVID-19 task force says they are all in stable condition and contact tracing continues. They also note that 13 of the 36 total cases have been identified at port of entry screenings. Now, this news comes as Governor Ralph Torres renewed the state of public health emergency last night for an additional 30 days for the Commonwealth. Speaking of the governor, the probe continues into Torres' executive expenditures with a House panel setting deadlines for documents requested from agencies. Our Tomas Manglona has this report from Saipan.
So two things going on right now. Our legal counsel is drafting the words in the subpoena, and there's some technicalities that needs to go through before we go through the process. As far as what was requested by the minorities 7 months ago, I'm still waiting for that list.
House Special Committee on Fiscal Review of Executive Expenditures Chair Ralph Umel says the first deadline for its members is tomorrow.
The other committee, we had no problems requesting for information, so it's just precautionary, I guess. Should they decide, because we are actually investigating the expenditure of the executive branch. It might be different in this case, and that's what we're preparing right now.
Representative Tina Sablan says tomorrow's deadline is to provide in the subpoena a list of documents that are still pending from the Department of Finance.
That would include missing travel records from the governor, redacted records including the credit card numbers that were used for some of the governor's reimbursements. We counted at least 17, possibly up to 20, maybe even more. And as well as the personnel records and some of the missing notice of personnel actions for the executive security detail.
She says public pressure is also mounting.
We have been asked by our constituents, concerns have been raised about these expenditures by the governor, and it is our job to investigate, and that's what we're doing.
Tomas Manglona for KUAM News on Saipan.
Thanks so much, Tomas. Back here on Guam through the Coronavirus Emergency Supplemental Funds Program and with the assistance of the Bureau of Stats and Plans, Guam's finest was able to obtain essential personal protective equipment. A press release states that over $1,600 worth of disposal surgical masks, almost 1,500 boxes of gloves, almost 1,000 hand sanitizer, clothing totaling close to $6,000, along with sanitary hand wipes, if I ever can say that right, along with non-contact thermometers, safety goggles, total a little more than $1,100 was secured by the Guam Police Department. And as of yesterday, the agency was also able to secure 395 masks, more than 500 bottles of rubbing alcohol, and 114 boxes of disposable surgical masks. There's that word again. With the PPEs, it will allow GPD personnel, both uniformed officers and civilian support employees, to better serve the island community. All right, coming up, everybody, we find about training that's being done for those in the public school system, and we're going to practice saying the word disposable. Please stay tuned. You are watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
We are open to serve you at Cars Plus Guam. Need a quick service for your vehicle? Visit our express lane at Cars Plus. Done fast, done right. No appointment needed. Our service team is dedicated to helping you get your vehicle in and out of the shop and back on the road quickly and securely. Simply drop off your vehicle at our express lane driveway, and one of our service advisors will take care of it. Need a ride? Not to worry. We have a shuttle vehicle ready to drop you back home and pick you up when your vehicle is ready. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit us today. We are open to serve you.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Gila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
What does a brilliant cut mean to me? It means consistent quality, right across the age expressions. We never compromise on quality and flavour.
It's also the very particular cut of spirit we take to fill our barrels. Tasting it today is just as exciting as the first time I tasted it. That is the brilliant cut.
Half a day, everybody. We are back. Nadine Cepeda is the district psychologist for the Guam Department of Education, and she recently spoke with our Adriana Cotero about an initiative to provide social-emotional training for stakeholders in your public school system.
Just for those that don't know and who might be watching when we upload this, this is Nadine Cepeda, the GDOE district psychologist, and you are conducting a training this week over in Teason at the headquarters. So if you could just give us a little bit of an overview, first and foremost, of what that training is. And we, for the most part, I know it's on the mental, social, emotional health and well-being for students and faculty and staff as we anticipate the reopening of the school year in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, this is correct. We know that the COVID-19 has been brought up some psychological issues, and there are 6 areas or 5 areas that are related to the COVID-19. We know that is related to loss and grief, anxiety, stress, depression, and trauma, to include substance abuse. And so we want to ensure that our DOE personnel are taken care of as they return. We want them to be healthy, mind and body and spirit. As we, again, reopening the schools, we want them to know what those signs look like among themselves and upon themselves so they know to get the help they need. And then to also identify those signs with the children and students that we'll be working with.
Now, the training just started this week, right? I think it was it yesterday that it began?
That's correct. It actually started this past Monday, and it's week-long until the very beginning of the first day of school.
And it sounds like it's hours long, right? About 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day?
It's 4 hours a day, and we're trying to get as many people as possible, and it's through via Zoom. So it's a very good platform. Again, reaching as many staff and faculty that we can through the Zoom. So it's a great forum and opportunity.
So as you're in the middle of this training, what is some of the feedback and some of the information you've received from the different teachers and staff through GDOE, maybe even some of their concerns for the reopening?
In fact, it's actually quite interesting. It's triggering some of their own emotions and their worries and anxieties about this uncertainty and what the COVID has brought to life, about some of the loss in their own personal life. And so people have actually privately messaged us to see how they can seek some help, wanted more information because they may have some, signs of depression. It's really been a very good discussion for the staff to recognize that and to include the administrators to recognize that there's a lot of responsibility. And they too are human. And so you can plan all you can, right? We're all about planning. However, the work comes in when we start school and it's the implementation. How do you deal with that and cope to stay healthy?
And how important is it to, because we know the teachers are, they're going to be back in the classroom, some of them, or they'll be teaching online, but in order for them to be in their, be able to express these emotions and have them out before caring and taking care of students and overseeing students, and some students may be experiencing the exact same emotions.
Yeah, so to one, and like in anything else, as a therapist, we always say you need to be aware, and to be aware, you kind of have to understand what that is and what are those signs. So you do a lot of self-reflection, and when you do that, then you're able to do something about it. And before you can even look upon other people and you're helping students, you need to start with yourself. And I think that's where we can say is that's where you need to be is healthy, so then we can take on the students as they come in. And I think one of the concerns is when we look at this is going to be quite different how we're doing things online. One of the things we did training with the screeners, with counselors is reaching out. We know who those students are at high risk, actually making those phone calls, connecting with them, just checking in to see how they're doing, because it's important as social creatures and humans, we need each other to stay connected.
Now, we've got an extended interview with Adriana, with Nadine. Pretty fascinating stuff, if I do say so myself. It is on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Just check us out on either platform at KUAM News. Take a look at it. It's good stuff. And when we come back, your birthday shout-outs.
My child, Econo, listen. The winds are singing. The ocean is roaring. And the trees are dancing. Our island is moving once again. In Afamolic, our unity has carried us through the stillness of today. And now, the spirit of half a day is yearning for our friends to come home.
Nana, is it time to bring all our friends back now?
Hungen, yes. It's time for the world to give us a moment together.
MTO Maintenance will now completely sanitize your home, office, or business with state-of-the-art commercial sprayers. For over 30 years, MTO Maintenance has been committed to the health and safety of our customers. And now, more than ever, a clean home, office, carpets, and furniture is a necessity to our island. Give us a call today. Stay healthy and stay safe, Guam.
Call 647-6861 for an appointment. Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Cold Stone Creamery is awesome, and they are proud to present tonight's birthday shoutouts. Okay, everybody, Thursday is your day if it's your birthday on July 16th. Well, that kind of doesn't rhyme, but I mean, it sounded good inside my head, but that doesn't take away from the fact that today is a happy birthday for you, Zoe Cruz. Happy birthday number 6 from Grandma and Grandpa Cruz. Have a great day. Lily Santos, happy birthday blessings to my wifey, Mama, Grandmama, Lily Santos. Every day is a blessing with you, and your family says we love you. Mana Murray also has a birthday today, so Mana Murray, we at KUAM and Cold Stone Creamery wish you the very best. And Patrice Loviani Flores, happy birthday to Patrice, wishing you the best birthday with love, happiness, and success from your loving family. And a single belated birthday wish going out today to Jose Gobi, born on the 15th. Happy birthday, Jose. God bless and protect you. We love you now and forever. And your shout out says, stay safe and healthy. That's a great shout out, a great message. Everybody out there, follow that, heed the words, and have a wonderful, wonderful birthday. If you would like to be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club or nominate someone that you care about, just go to KUAM.com, hit the link that says birthdays, see how that works, and then just tune in. It's that simple. All right, please stay tuned. There's more coming up. We'll see you tomorrow.